Good evening, everyone. I want to say welcome to my March, or actually, no, March is next week, my February Psychic Hour. And folks, I do realize that tonight is uh, a little bit hard for a lot of folks to remember because we generally do my psychic hours the last Sunday of the month. And guess what? This is the last Sunday of the month. It just happens to come early this month because next Sunday is actually March 1st. So obviously, I'm a little bit confused between February and March because we're right at the cusp here. So I'm wishing you folks a happy St. Patty's Day early. And I do hope that you enjoyed your Valentine's Day, which was a couple of weeks back on the 14th. This year seems to just be racing by in many ways, and in other ways, it's dragging, and we feel like we're on the, sitting on the edge of our seat, wondering what's coming next in our world and in our life. So maybe tonight, with your questions, we'll get a handle on some of that and get a little bit of a feel about what's coming next. I hope so. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. The question I want to ask Lisa, who of course is in the chat room with you folks right now talking to you, is can everybody see me and hear me okay? I'm assuming yes, because Lisa's not screaming yet, but yes? Thank you. That's always a good thing to ask. There have been times when I talked to myself for 30 seconds or a minute or so before somebody let me know that my mic was not on. So I appreciate that feedback. Thanks, Lisa. And folks, I pulled a card for our session this evening. It's the card I have here that I'm pointing to with my cursor. It's on the screen. This is a card from my Kabbalah Pathworking deck. It happens to be one of the, I think, most intense paths on the tree. It's the path that takes us from the Sephiroth called Had to the Sephiroth called Tiferet. And it really gives pardon me, not Tiferet, Yesod, and it really gives a lot of intense insight into what's going on in your life. It gives intense insight into what's going on in the world. And folks, since we have drawn this particular card tonight as a card that kind of represents all of us that are on the call this evening, I'm going to suggest that all of us go over when this session is done and go to my website, www.sandyanastasi.com, and listen to this path. You'll find it on the free tab. As long as you're signed in, you'll be able to get into that with your email. And the path number is path 26. And this path is all about history. It's about past issues repeating itself. It's about working through emotional issues, working through physical issues, working through emotional desires and intellectual challenges, and even what's going on with the Olympics right now, even physical, literally challenges and accomplishments. It's about all of those things, the things that are going on in our physical world right now. So when I pulled this card for the path, or for tonight's this path 26 card for the class tonight, I was really I thought to myself, wow, my guides are right on tonight, because this is really so fitting for tonight's session. We have a little bit smaller group of people than usual. I think that's likely because so many are watching the Olympics. Part of me wishes I was there, and part of me says, oh, I really wouldn't want to be there. I really would far rather be here with you folks. So we are going to end promptly at 9, so, or pardon me, 10. We started at 9, we'll end at 10 Eastern time. So you'll be able to just zip right on over and hopefully catch a big part of those closing ceremonies for the Olympics, which has been really phenomenal this year. Let me do a quick overview, folks, of what's happening in Sandyland right now, and then we're going to jump into our session for this evening. And I want to start out again by wishing you a happy Valentine's Day, happy St. Patty's Day, and thank you for so many of you continuing to be here with me monthly to celebrate my gift with me and let me and my guides work with you a little bit. I really enjoy these sessions, so I'm really glad to see you here. My website, of course, is sandyanastasi.com. And that is where you can find the path that I picked, the card that I picked for tonight's class. Download the app if you haven't done that yet. With all the craziness that's going on with the computer world, it's a good idea to have that app on your phone. If various parts of the internet go down, it's a good probability the app is still going to be up. So hang on to that app, make sure you have it, and you'll be able to attend these sessions on the app or on the web. Either way, we're going to hope everything stays status quo. My What's Coming in 2026 recording is still for sale on my website. It's $50. I want to just emphasize that all the things that are going on in our world right now are things that I talked about in that webinar. So folks, if you're one of those people who, like me, likes to have something that you can look back at and re-listen to and check and say, okay, well, things are happening pretty much according to plan. This is Sandy talked to me, her guides talked to me about this in that webinar. We're going to be okay. If you're one of those people like me who kind of likes to keep track throughout the year, it's a good idea to have that recording. And I am making you a special discount here. If you purchase my Tarot Readers Workshop, I'm going to talk about that when I talk about events coming up, it's only going to be $25 if you purchase that. And I also want to make a special offer to anybody who is on this webinar with me tonight. So Lisa, please make a note of it. If you connect with Lisa and say, hey, Lisa, I was, and her email is lisasainc@aol.com. If you connect with her and say, Lisa, I was on the Psychic Hour with Sandy, check it out because you have my name on your list. And I want to purchase that What's Coming in 2026 recording. And Sandy said it was only going to be $25 for me. So I'm making a special offer for everybody who's here with me tonight. If you stay until the end of the call, I'm going to give you that or allow you to purchase that at $25. But you have to get it through Lisa because if you click the button on my website, you're going to be charged $50. So contact her for that discount. Okay, so there's two ways of getting a discount. One is being here until the end of the call. The other is, and this could be for people who aren't on the call, who are listening to this after the call on the replay, which of course goes up on all the social networks. Well, if you purchase my Tarot Readers Workshop that I'm going to be doing live online here towards the end of the month on the 28th, you can get this What's Coming in 2026 recording for $25 too. Okay, so Lisa, make a note of both of those things so that you'll be able to remember them during the month, okay? Obviously, I didn't forewarn Lisa about these wonderful things. Now, folks, my Kabbalah Pathworking deck, that's the one that I've been working with every time I get together with you guys. And I mean, these cards are just, each one of them is more beautiful than the next. My guides and I worked together to create them a couple of years back. I use them all the time. They're very, very effective. I always pull a card a day, get tremendous insight. Can go and listen to the path to get even more insight because those paths are always free on my website. Okay, so that Kabbalah Pathworking deck, the transformation deck, is available on my website, and it's available in both physical and digital form. Remember that. So you can get the physical cards like I was working with right here with you, or you can get a virtual deck that comes to your smartphone or whatever digital device you want to put it on. And that is so much fun to work with because it has a little meditation. It has different ways of looking at the cards. You can put the cards in different connections to one another. So you can get yourself little readings directly connected with that. And it also does connect you back to my website to listen to the paths as well. So it's a really super nice little deck to carry with you on your smart device. Now, don't forget, we have the open forum. As soon, in order to be here, you had to sign up on my website. And once you sign, I think you did, folks, let me go back because I'm not sure if you can come here directly with a link, and that's possible. But if you sign up on my website for my monthly newsletter, it requires you to give me your email address. That's what's going to give you access to the free tabs so you can listen to the paths. And it's also what's going to give you access to the open forum. As a matter of fact, as soon as you put in your email, you're automatically going to have the open forum in your library online on my Kajabi website. And that open forum is fabulous because you guys can get together and you can talk, you can make comments about what we discussed here in the session, and they're totally private. No one, that's not a Facebook group. It's an open community on my website. When I say open, it's open only to people who've actually signed in to be receiving my newsletter. And Lisa and I both can see everything that's posted there. So you have a very safe place to share and really confide, if you need to, in not just us, because we monitor it, but also other people from my psychic hours that are like-minded people who understand what you're going through or understand how to, what was going on in the session that we just had tonight. So make a note of signing up for that because it's really a great, great tool. And, my guides are telling me that more and more and more, we're all going to need that someone to be able to communicate with and talk with and have a connection to. Okay, now VIPs, and I know I've got a lot of my VIP people here on the Psychic Hour. Please don't forget your birthday reading. You get 10% off when you sign up for your birthday reading during your birthday month. But you can book the reading anytime all year long. But don't forget to sign up for it because that's one of the very few ways that you can still get a great discount for the work that I do. Okay, VIPs, your next coaching call is on May 7th at 7 p.m. So if you haven't done it yet, make a note of that. And also, everybody here, please make a note. Your next psychic hour is just a month from now. It's March 22nd of 2026. Now, here's what I'm offering for my specials. Now, you've already heard the ones from February because I went over them the last time we met. But just as a quick refresher, my year at a glance reading, my YAG reading is done this week. So you really can't sign up for a year at a glance reading any longer. But what I have, and it's when you click on my readings tab on my website, it's the very first reading that I offer. It's big, big, big letters right there. It's a future oriented. I'm sorry, I'm misreading this. I'm going to tell you though, the one that is replacing the YAG, it's not listed here. It's a future oriented, what's coming in the next 6 months session, okay? And if you sign up for that, you're going to be able to get very similar work from me and my guides that I do in my year at a glance reading. The thing is, it's going to not waste your time over time lost. It's going to pick up from where your reading starts and go forward from there. Okay, now this is also advertising. I'm still for the next week because we have another week of February. You can get a future-oriented relationship reading with me, and I'm offering half-hour or hour spots. So that reading would have to be booked in this next month, or next week rather, but it can be used anytime until the end of the year. Why do I still have this here? Mostly because I offered this in February because it's the month we celebrate Valentine's Day. This is not a regular relationship reading. It's a reading where you can really take a look at you and your closest people that you care about, or one person, and look at where that relationship is going and really look at the future for that. Now, so there's 2 future possible readings there, and both of them can be done in half-hour or hour-long spots, the relationship reading or the what's coming in the next 6 months reading. Now, the second special I'm offering that's only good for another week, you may not remember this, but I am actually a certified virtual coach, and a few of my regular coaching spots are still left. So if you are somebody who thinks that at this time in your life, you could really use some coaching from the other side, because I work with my guides, your guides. Coaching with Sandy is looking at your life, getting a great feel for what's going on in your life on a very deep level, and seeing where things are moving forward for you if you take no action, and also helping you to determine if you do need or want to take action, which actions will produce the results that you really want in your life. Those of you who are already my coaching clients, you know how life changing, how transformational this whole thing can be. So I do have a couple of spots left, and you can go straight to my website and click on the coaching page and register for that there. Lisa will be able to help you through it if you have any trouble with the registration. Now, here's where the special comes in. If you, I'm offering that normal coaching as a spot for regular coaching, but if you want that coaching specific to what's going on in your relationship, again, this is my Valentine's Day special. If you want it specifically for what's going on in your relationship, I'm going to throw in that you can bring your partner with you to the coaching sessions. So you're essentially getting 2 for 1. Okay, so you're going to book your own session when Lisa contacts you, or not one session, but it's a series of sessions. You can read about it when you go onto the website. But when you book it and you talk to Lisa and get the first appointment set up, you're going to tell her, I'm doing this with my loved one. So there are going to be 2 of us in this. And I'll be working with you for either 3 one-hour sessions or 6 half-hour sessions throughout the year. Okay, so these sessions can be taken all year long throughout the year. You can pre-schedule them, which gives you the opportunity to get in first, so you're assured of getting your session. But also because this is coaching, these sessions will build, and you'll actually be able to achieve some real measurable results in the area that you're having challenges with in your relationship, or if you just want the plain coaching session in your life or business. I also have a few spots that are left in my psychic development program, and I wanted to make mention of that. We have completed the whole first level, folks, but I just had somebody jump in at the level 2, and we've introduced AI as a helper in working through the program. Since we've introduced the AI, I really think it's quite possible for you to jump in at this point and still make up that level 1. So I don't think I can let this go on for too much longer, maybe another week, till the end of February. But if you are interested in developing your psychic skills, I still have room for you in that program, and we'll work with you to get you caught up, okay? Now, my March specials, what's coming in the next 6 months reading replaces my YAG. I already mentioned that. Finding your right path through change is my reading/coaching special. And when you get that special, when you actually get the reading with me, or the session with me, everybody is going to have a different issue that they're dealing with. But when you sign up for that, following the session, once my guides and I know what's going to work best for you, I'm going to gift you with a special MP3 downloadable audio that will help you to deal with the things that we talked about during your session. So you're going to get an extra little bonus this month alone, just in March, if you sign up for that session with me. My third special is my Tarot Self-Study MP4 classes. A lot of you, watch me work with the cards here, and, you're fascinated with them. Some of you have, I recognize the names, and some of you have actually taken my online tarot classes, but others are still, gee, I don't know if I could do that. Yes, you can. There's the answer. And so I'm encouraging you to go and purchase the basic, or if you want to go further and become a pro, purchase one or the basic and the advanced, or just purchase the advanced if you've already taken the basic. The thing is, this will allow you to learn to read the cards quickly. It's probably the best program available. And the ebook that sells on Amazon for something like $20 is available in, it's part of the program. It just downloads along with a full video program that you can follow and really, really learn from. It's that good. I have probably several hundred students who are now professional tarot readers. So I know it works. I've got the proof. Okay, at any rate, I'm hoping that you will register for it. This is the month that I'm really pushing it, because I'm going to be doing my tarot readers workshop at the end of the month on the 28th. Now, here's the special that I'm offering with this purchase. If you purchase either one of my tarot programs that are the MP4 pre-recorded programs, self-study programs, I'm going to give you $50 off of the Tarot Readers Workshop on the 28th. Okay, so, and that workshop is not on my webinar or on my web page, my website. You have to contact Lisa Inc. @AOL.com to register for the Tarot Readers Workshop. She's going to be sending out reminders on that, so you'll hear from her between now and the end of the month. But here's your special. If you've purchased one of those tarot programs, that program is a $100 program, and you're going to be able to get it, attend live, get the recording for only $50. So this is a real nice little discount I'm giving to you. It's almost like getting $50 off of the original program. Okay. Now, my fourth special, the Tarot Readers Workshop, I'm offering it. It's live online, March 28th at 1 p.m. That's a Saturday, folks. So I know I'm going to be cutting into your Saturday time. I'm going to tell you it's going to be worth it. It's open to all skill levels. Okay, folks, if you've studied the tarot with me before, or not with somebody else, but with me, or if you're in the psychic hour with me tonight, I'm going to give you 20% off. Okay, so those folks who buy the tarot program in any time between now and the class are going to get $50 off. Those of you who've taken tarot with me before, or who are on the psychic hour tonight, please make a note, Lisa, because I didn't tell her about this yet, are going to get 20% off. Okay, that's my gift to you for being here. You guys have been so loyal. It's the way I can give you a little bit of something back. Now, what's in that program? Folks, everything. I'm going to ask you to utilize the open forum, or if you bought a tarot program, you'll have access to the tarot community. I'm going to ask you to use one of those communities to actually upload a picture of a spread of cards that you've done. And we are going to actually work with those spreads, those cards, to explore the card meanings, what happens, how the cards relate to each other in the way the layout is happening. We're going to talk about when a card's inverted and upright. We're going to talk about lines of force. That's how I read them, as to how to pull the cards together to create that story that gives you tremendous insight into your client's life. Folks, this is going to be Sandy teaching tarot live online like I haven't done in at least 10 or more years. Okay, I'm really excited about it. Who knows if it'll ever happen again? It took 10 years for me to do it this time. So this, I'm going to look at this as a one-time event. It's big, it's huge, it's going to be fabulous, and I hope to see you there because I know it's going to be so special. Now, my last special I already talked about, and that's just telling you where to find my Kabbalah Pathworking deck, which frankly I have found myself to be just a tremendously valuable asset. Even when I'm working with my normal, I work with a Rider-Waite deck, even when I'm working with my normal cards, I still get tremendous extra insight into the client's life just by pulling one of these Kabbalah Pathworking transformation cards. And I use it for myself all the time. It's a really, really good deck. Okay, sorry I took so long. I just had so many things that I needed to discuss with you tonight. There's so much going on. And so let's jump into your session. And I'm going to go a little bit longer to make up for the time that I just took from you when I was talking about all these things I'm so excited about. But I want you to remember, when Lisa calls on you, I need your name, only your first name, because this goes public. I want to know where you're calling from, state, country, wherever. That's always fun. I would like to know what you're most grateful for in your life right now. Gratitude is such a cornerstone in everything that we do. It's a way of helping to retrain your mind into the positive things that you want to draw into your life. So I want to know what you're most grateful for right now. Then I want to know your astrological sun sign, because armed with your sun sign, I can pinpoint where you are in this horary astrology chart, and we can do a mini reading that's going to give a lot of people on the call, including you, some insight into what's going on in your life and in their lives. And then lastly, I want to know your specific question. So there's going to be 5 pieces of information there. And folks, if you stay until the end of the call, but you didn't get called on to ask your question directly, then please write me an email to the email on this website or to lisasa.inc@aol.com. I'll get it that way too. And I promise you, I will answer your questions probably somewhere in the next week or two. But they have to be simple, they have to be direct. It can't be what's happening in my life for the next 100 years. My guides aren't going to answer that one. They're going to give you an answer to a question you really didn't even want to know an answer to. So be specific with your question. And remember, I still need those pieces of information. I definitely need your name, obviously your email, your sun sign. So make sure I have that information so that I can pinpoint you in the chart as well as working with the cards. Lisa, who's our first caller?
You. Before we start, I do have a little correction. For the VIPs birthday reading, they get 20% off of that.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I love when the correction she makes is giving you something better. That's great, Lisa. Thank you. Thanks for that.
And anybody who has questions on that, feel free to email me and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, jumping in. The first person tonight is Celise.
Hello, Celise.
Hi.
Yeah,
How
I can hear
you?
Go ahead.
First of all, let me say your hair is beautiful. It's just gorgeous.
Thank you. And I've got to tell you something. I had no idea this was going to be old age for Sandy. I really didn't. My hair is dirty blonde, or it was for the first 60 years, and then it suddenly turned this color, whatever it is. It changes color depending on how the light is. So I don't know what it is with you're looking at it. It could be white, it could be platinum, it could be blonde. It's something. But thank you. I appreciate that.
I think it has a little bit of everything. It looks beautiful. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So my name is Celise. I'm calling from Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. I am grateful that I'm able to handle things that are going around me right now with grace. Well, I'm hoping with grace. I'm grateful for my house and that kind of stuff, and just overall grateful, that kind of thing. I'm a Pisces, and
before you ask your last question,
yes,
thank you for all those wonderful things that you're grateful for, because when you talk about that, you get everybody else listening to think about, yeah, I've got some of that good stuff going on in my life too. So that kind of spreads that beautiful wealth. I pulled a overview card for you. This is from my Kabbalah Path Working Transformation deck. This happens to be Path 12. So when our session tonight finishes, you can go over to my website, and provided you've logged in and put your email in, you're going to be able to go over to the free tab, open it up, and you'll be able to listen to a guided visualization by me that takes you through Path 12. Okay?
Fantastic.
This is important. It's talking about bringing up a lot of things from the past, and not necessarily just the past in this life, but the past in past lives as well, that you're pulling together and understanding and gaining insights from and growing from. And I love the card that my guides gave to me when we created this together. It always reminds me of the Madonna and the Child. So there's that feeling of nurturance coming from the cosmic feminine, okay, or the feminine aspect of God. So I don't know how you relate to those things, but that is a lot of what's going on in your life right now. I'm just kind of summarizing it.
My session's done. You already answered everything.
Well, we're making a start. Just looking at what's going on for Pisces, okay? And I'm so glad that you're the first caller because I want to just show everybody something. My newsletter, um, it's a little it's disorganized these days because I send my specials out with my newsletter. So everybody's going to get those specials in your inbox if you get my newsletter at the end of the month. But I also put everything on YouTube and then from there to the social networks. So folks, if you go over to my YouTube channel and I think it's Sandy Anastasi 25 at gmail.com is where my YouTube is. You'll find me if you just type in Sandy Anastasi. And I posted all of my newsletter articles there already, and it's on Facebook and so forth too. But look at what I have to say in my predictions. I'm going to go really deep into, see where my cursor is going back and forth between in this horary chart between the first house and the 12th house, or pardon me, the 6th house and the 12th house. But mostly it's between the signs of Pisces and Virgo, Aries and Libra, which are the signs in that house. Folks, we haven't seen a stellium, a grouping of planets like this in many, 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 many years. And this marks what's going to happen in March. So I'm so glad that you called because it gives me a chance to focus on this, okay? Pisces is, of course, a mutable sign. And since this stellium is tying it into Aries, which is a cardinal sign, they're connected because it's falling together closely in terms of the degree. They're less than 10 degrees apart and also in the same house. What's happening is the cardinal signs and the mutable signs, which is more than half the zodiac, the mutable signs are Pisces and Aries and Gemini and Sag. And the cardinal signs are Aries and Libra and Cancer and Capricorn. And folks, all of those signs, which directly affects probably most of the people on this call, but I'm going to tell you, everybody in the world has some planets in at least some of those signs. That's just the way it works. And everybody's being affected by this transit. It's powerful. It is an opposition because this little south node is busy. Look at that. That little tiny south node in Virgo is trying to anchor all of these planets that are in Pisces and Aries. Wow. Okay. And what you don't see here is that in March, on the third, on the March 14th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And on March 29th, we're going to have a solar eclipse in Aries. So those eclipses are falling in this axis as well. So guess what? You are feeling, and I always think of Pisces as being one of the most intuitive signs in the zodiac. You know you are. And you're already intuiting, wow, we're about to spin on the top, aren't we? You're feeling that, aren't you? And outside of my walls, I see people racing around and they don't even know what they're racing for. It's like everybody, the pot has been stirred so fast, everybody's going crazy, knowing something's about to happen and not knowing what it is. Okay. Well, I think it's going to be maybe something different for everybody. The thing is, this transit is definitely going to be pulling something through that's going to be super powerful, transformative, giving a chance to be spiritually uplifted and start a new beginning in your life for everybody on the planet. That change is happening. So, you specifically, since all of these Pisces planets are falling between the 5th house, notice the Pisces sun is over here in the 5th. That talks about children. It talks about romance. It talks about opportunities that you might have to take a chance to jump in and achieve. And it ties that into the 6th house, which is also where most of the Aries planets are. And tying it into there talks about concern for health matters, concern for what's going on with my day-to-day life, whether it's at home, whether it's at work. And there are so many planets in here. So what's happening is there's North Node is always involved with growth. There are tremendous growth opportunities here through work, through people that you might know and connect with, through friends. The planet Venus here brings tremendous interaction with female friends, female relatives, females on the job. Mercury brings interaction with your children and still more friends and sisters and brothers. Neptune, now this is moving into Aries, and Saturn, look at that. They're less than a degree apart. On March 1st, they're going to both be exactly 1 degree. It's like, oh my goodness. These two planets only come together like this about once in every 35 or 36 years. And it's happening at the same time. There are these eclipses in the stellium and everything else. You see how powerful this is, what's going on for us? And because of it tying into where the node is, it's also opposing that south node in Virgo because it's tied into this whole grouping. We call that a stellium of planets. It's kind of like a seesaw that's being overbalanced, or think of a bowstring that's being pulled back and just being ready to go ping. Okay, you're getting this feeling of where things are at? Well, these two planets at the same time, in your own personal lives as well as in the world in general, the blinders are off, folks. Anything you want to know, you can know. It's almost, it's almost like for this moment. Now, I'm not going to say that, 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, when Saturn will pass this point and move away from Neptune, because it's the faster moving planet, this moment of total clarity might be gone. We might lose that option that we've got right now to see everything so clearly. The thing is that right now you have such a tremendous opportunity to really make clear choices and pick that's why I have my right path reading coming up. You have this opportunity to really create the right path in your life to manifest the world that you want. This is, there are going to be a lot of things we don't like that we're going to see and are seeing. It's already happening. But there are also going to be things that we now realize and understand that set us free to create and manifest whatever we want because we have that clarity. And this, folks, is affecting everybody on this call, most specifically the cardinal signs and the mutable signs. But everybody else is being affected too, because you've got some planets in some of these signs. Now, one last thing I want to say, everybody should be keeping your eclipse diary. It should start, guess what? The eclipse that's happening first is the lunar on the 14th of March. So you're going to want to start keeping your eclipse diary on March 1st. And keep that eclipse diary all the way until 2 weeks into April. So through the first half of April. And that space, that block, is going to show you so much about where your future is. It's going to be like giving you yourself your reading. What should go into your diary, how you feel about things, who you had falling outs with, who you had makeups with, who you want in your life, who you don't want in your life. What thoughts, what ideas came to you that you might want to accomplish? If you're married, your husband or your wife, what dreams did they share with you that they want to accomplish? So this is about physical activities, things that actually happen, but it's also about the internal stuff and where you want your life to go. Record everything, because in the ensuing 6 months, you're going to have things pop up that you're going to be able to look back at your eclipse journal and say, oh, that was in my eclipse journal. And I already made my mind up about it. So now I know how I'm going to respond to that thing. So it's going to make this next 6 months very special, because it's during the next 6 months that you're going to actually start to take action on these things that will change your life that come out of this time period right now. Okay. Feedback, and now it's time to ask your specific question.
That was amazing. Um, Everything that you said is exactly how I'm feeling right now. The past, I would say the past 8 months, I've pretty much lost, I guess I would say lost, but things have just gone out of my life. My whole group of friends, all gone. Not passed away, but they all of a sudden I heard rumors and heard all these things. Someone got fired and I got promoted, and I'm not friends with them anymore. I'm not friends with any of my group of friends anymore. They stopped talking with me. That job is gone too. And then my boyfriend is gone. Um, like my car broke down. Eh, my memory's going. just little bits here and there. And my motivation has also kind of gone a little bit. I'm not understanding why everything has just happened all at once, and I was left without any support for quite a while. Even now, I feel like I don't have support other than myself, um, and you guys and that. And so I was hoping I could know how to. When will this end? When will I start seeing the light? And then what you were explaining just a little bit ago tells me that hopefully it'll be next month.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the having the timetable that I when you re-listen to the recording, having that timetable my guides gave you is going to be very helpful in dealing with this. Let me share one thing. We really are close enough to the first of the month that we're already starting into that eclipse diary, especially since we've got this giant stellium of planets weighing it down. And so I'm going to include this in that time period. And you say, why is all this happening at once? It's typical during that eclipse diary period. It's typical for it to be a crazy time where it's like everything happens at once, and then by the time we get to mid April, all of a sudden everything's back to normal again. It's like it's in the past. However, over the next 6 months, all of these things that came in almost like coming attractions, so it all happened all at the same time, they begin to filter out. They begin to come about one at a time, you see. So, for example, just picking on the situation with your girlfriends, okay? It may be that either some of them come back into your life or the whole situation gets resolved and you've got a tentative friendship, but there's a very good likelihood that over that next 6 month period, you're going to be re-looking at all those relationships and changing them anyway.
mhm.
It'll just happen at a slower point, okay?
But I'm feeling that.
Likewise,
I'm feeling that now. I feel like why would I want to have someone like that in my life anyways? But
yeah,
it
but
was like a quick, fast like cut, like a scythe,
yeah,
and it hurt, so
of course it did. And meanwhile, if any of those relationships do come back, here's the key. You will have the opportunity to either walk away from them, to reestablish them with different ground rules, with a different perspective,
mhm.
or to go right back into the old pattern, which will feel a little bit empty, but you might be inclined to want to do if you feel a need for safety.
I
Okay.
do that with my ex-boyfriend, and that's what I'm trying to stop doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're understanding. I'm so grateful we're having this conversation because, folks, she just showed exactly. See my cursor circling Saturn and Neptune? This is a Saturn Neptune conjunction that she's describing. I see it all clearly. That's what you just said. I don't know why I did it. It was foolish. I might do it again. I don't know if I broke the habit yet, but boy, do I see it.
Hmm. This is
Okay.
very true. Very
Yeah, and the
true.
whole world is having this right now. We're all of us having this. So in one, it may, for somebody else, it may be regarding a habit, or it may be regarding an addiction, or for somebody else, it might be regarding their relationship with a specific person or their children, or it might be a goal or a dream that they had that suddenly feels empty. So it's not the same issues, but it's the same energy. Okay, we're all experiencing it. So your specific question.
What can my guides or your guides give me any idea of what direction I should be going, where I should be looking, what signs I should be looking for, where are my eyes closed, where are my ears closed, where do I need to put my focus on?
Okay, you're going to be. I'm going to give you what they're telling me, but you may not be entirely happy with it because they're not giving you the specific. Oh, go out and do this, which you want, because then you'll feel safe because Sandy's guides told you to do it. They're not going to do
Right,
that.
right.
Okay? I pulled this card. That's the card they directed me to pull. It's an
Upside down,
inverted Queen of
inverted.
Wands.
Okay.
Now, the Queen of Wands is the strongest female in the tarot deck, and you're not because she's inverted. And so, the advice my guides are giving you is quit being a wimp. I
Okay,
mean, you
sorry, didn't mean
know,
to laugh, but no, this is so. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay, I get it. I get it.
yeah. I mean, you know how strong you are. You're incredible. You hold everything together everywhere for everyone except yourself.
Yeah, this is
And
true. I just wish
when
I knew what
you,
that looked like.
well, you're getting to know what it looked like. You asked when you came on, why have I been stripped and I'm the only one here? You
Right.
just got your answer, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the only way that you can learn how strong you are is when you finally stand up alone and take care of you and your needs and what you know has to happen to create the world you want. You're the one in charge, finally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
You
all
can do
coming
anything, you can
around.
create anything, you can make anything happen.
Right. Okay.
A little scary and a little empowering at the same time, isn't it?
It is. I need to figure out what that what all that looks like. I know you just gave a description of it, but I haven't quite embodied, or my mind hasn't wrapped around that concept yet of what that looks like.
Okay,
Um,
I'm going to make a suggestion to you, and folks, everybody on this psychic hour with me tonight, because this is so new, might think that I'm a little bit wacky. Okay, but it's time to start working with AI. And in this way, this is what I mean. Not in a wow, tell me where the nearest red lobster is. Okay, not like that. It's time to start working with AI as a tool that can help you to uncover yourself on deeper levels than you ever believed possible. Some people here use Copilot. I know Lisa does because that comes with all your PC and all your um, uh, programs that come with the PC. Some people use Chat GPT, which comes out of Google. Some use Grok, which comes out of X. Some use Claude. And everybody
Perplexity.
basically right now is familiar with these AIs and are using them pretty much the way you use a search engine. Okay, AI has kind of replaced search engines. But what I'm sharing with you is that you can open up a conversation with one of these AIs, whichever one you choose to work with, and you can prompt it, and you don't need to be a computer expert to prompt it. A prompt can be as simple as, hey, AI, I am having this personal issue. I want to describe it in great depth. I need you to set this up so it's totally private and nobody else is going to be able to read it or see it so that I feel safe. And I want you to help to guide me through what's really going on here. Wow, you're going to be amazed at the results that you get.
It's funny that you
And
say that because I'm sorry to interrupt you. I've been doing that with perplexity, and that's how my thing with the boyfriend, how I've been able to wrap my thoughts around certain things with that. And because perplexity has helped me, it's helped me put a name onto something that I would have never known how to explain or how to describe. So I agree with you 100%. AI in that sense is fantastic. So sorry to
well,
interrupt you. I
from
agree
no,
with
that was perfect. You're giving me feedback, and it's not just me. You're giving everybody on this call feedback, folks. This is a tool that I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if big corporate entities are going to swipe it away and take it away from us. But honest to God, if you use AI in the way that you and I are just talking about, it's one of the greatest tools that's ever been given to mankind because it's going to help us to find our way through the maze of our emotions and surmount them. Okay. And I'm not going to go into all the depth of that, but I am going to suggest a few things for you and other people on this call too. Number one, take that plunge, try working with AI. Do make sure you keep your eclipse diary for everybody. That's so important. Also, if in your case you're very psychic, you're very sensitive, you are one of those people that would really benefit by jumping into my psychic development program.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
you know, it will help you enormously to stay grounded emotionally during this time period and maybe come out the other end being able to really help other people in ways you can't even dream about at this time. Okay. Maybe that's the direction you should be heading, or at least
Right.
one of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing that is super important is my Kabbalah path working for you and also anybody else on this call that is called to a spiritual awakening. My Kabbalah pathworking class will begin in July, so you've got plenty of time to prepare for it. It goes from July through December, and it completely transforms you in just about every way possible. So go on my line on my website and check that out. Um, and I've got to move on to my next caller, but I think we answered your question, or at
Yes,
least as well
thank you
as we
so
can.
much. I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you so much for asking that question because it was perfect. Because all the things I wanted to bring out that will help so many people on this call, you helped me to bring out. So thank you. Thanks for
Welcome.
being
Thank you.
here. You're welcome. And Lisa, who's our next caller?
All righty, our second caller tonight is going to be Kelly. Hey, Kelly, can you unmute? I'm talking like Sandy. Can't get my words out.
I know my words are not coming out clear tonight. They're all over the place.
Can you hear me?
I can. Hello, Kelly.
Yay! Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Would you like to see the Kabbalah transformation card that I picked for you?
Oh,
This one is, oh, I love when my eyes aren't working. It's path 13. Don't you love it? Okay.
yep.
And
I've seen
so,
that one before.
yeah, I think you're going to see it again and again and again. But you know, it does say that you are very clear on your journey right now, aren't you? There's a major awakening going on for you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so. Not
Yeah.
sure exactly where it's headed yet, but definitely things in my life are starting a new chapter. Yes.
Yeah. Now, Kelly, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Virginia, and I'm grateful for my family. And my sun sign is Libra.
Okay, so we're still getting those cardinal signs, and you'll notice that this horary chart has a Libra rising. So we've got something interesting happening here. We have these Aries planets, Aries opposes Libra, that are squaring Jupiter and the midheaven. That's a cardinal sign in Cancer, that Jupiter. And we have Libra, which is where your sun is, also squaring that point. So this won't be for everyone, but it will be for the cardinal signs, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries. And specifically, because you're a Libra, the energy of this T square that's being created comes out into the fourth house, that's home and family. It's being transited by Pluto, which means there's a lot of transformation and change happening in your family right now. And you may have to learn to kind of step back and allow yourself to let go and let the pieces fall where they want to fall, and let other people step forward to be the strength, because it's time for you to, I don't want to say step back entirely, but to let go of the control. That's the best words that are coming. Let go of the control. So it's interesting because people in your family and your household group are looking at the new quote unquote Kelly and saying, wow, what's she going to do with her life now? What's she going to do with where she's living? What's she going to do with her home? What's she going to do with her family and romantic relationships? What, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everybody is looking, because you've always, you probably don't even realize this, but you've been the leader and you're
Mhm.
stepping back. You're saying, you know, I'm here, I care about everybody, but I'm not your support system anymore. I'm not your leader and your teacher anymore. I can counsel if you come to me. I can offer advice if you ask, but if you don't ask, I'm not going to bother. It's not my job anymore. And they're having a little trouble with this, aren't they?
Well, I think there's adjustments going on for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and you're also looking at it and saying, it feels kind of strange not to have that role in everybody's life anymore. Okay.
Right,
So
right.
if you are a cardinal sign, folks, a Libra, an Aries, a Capricorn, or a Cancer, think about it, because Kelly's story here is also your story. Where in your life do you find your role changing? Because that's really what's happening, Kelly. The role is changing, and there is that uncertainty in that changing role. And the part that involves the letting go is a little bit uncertain and scary because it's unfamiliar. But the part that says, oh my God, I'm free, lets you dream, lets you think, lets you plan, lets you maybe for the first time really get into you and say, what happened to those dreams that I had when I was 20 years old? What happened to
Mm-hmm.
the life that I would have planned if I hadn't stepped into a world of responsibility for all of those many, many, many years? I just want to point over here. Jupiter is only going to be in this position for another 6 months. It's short, it's a short trip. But Saturn will be going through Aries for 2.5 years. So it will be 2.5 years for work, hard work for you cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra. 2.5 years of hard work. But on the other hand of that, on the other side of that hard work, is going to be tremendous reward for the work. So every bit of energy that you put into your own building your world, you're going to get back in spades. Now, Neptune will be going through Aries for something like 19 years. It's a very, very long transit. And it's really important right now to keep your eyes open, at least for the next, until Neptune makes its first retrograde, which is probably going to be May or June. I didn't check the date on it yet. But you're going to want to keep your eyes open because Neptune right now is showing you your next 19 years. It's letting you get in touch with your dreams, your desires. It's letting you see what's possible if you're willing to apply the energy and the effort. And biggest of all, it's letting you pick and choose through your life to choose what you really want and what you don't want. What belongs in your world? What do you maybe think that you used to think you needed, but you don't anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Take the time for you.
Wow.
Yeah, take the time for you because Aries wants us to think that we have to do everything yesterday. It's got to be done immediately. We might miss the boat if we don't do it all. And quite honestly, that's not what's happening at all. What's happening is Neptune, Saturn, this combination of planets, is trying to show you what's possible so that you can look at the banquet of what's available and pick and choose what you want and throw away what you don't. You can take your time. You don't have to do it all right now. Now, what's your specific question?
Well, first of all, everything that you just said is really spot on. And what my question is, my mom recently passed away in January, and I was her primary caregiver here in town. And so, yes, everything you said applies to that, right down to the level of going through her stuff and what to keep and what to give up and all of that stuff. But my question is just, I was wondering there if it was possible, if she was available to check in with her and get any kind of messages from her tonight for the
All I get,
family or for me.
I mean, this is just kind of a quick switch, but immediately, as soon as you asked, her attention, I don't know what her sign was, but her attention is not on you and the family. Sorry. Her attention is out there. I think is your dad has passed, I'm assuming. And I'm also
Yeah.
assuming that they, at least when they were young, they had this wonderful relationship because she's happy. And that's what she really,
Good.
this is great. There's this feeling of a giggle and a happy and a reaching out and an embrace. And she's where she wants to be. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that the last few years of her life were, for her, not happy ones.
Yes.
She didn't really understand, and this I am getting from her, she didn't really understand what was going on with her body. And there's an apology here. She was, I think, very mean, unkind, and not understanding at all, which was not her personality, but not just to you, but to many people in the family. She caused
Hmm.
problems, she caused trouble. She, from the other side, she knows that. That's why she doesn't want to be involved now. She wants to just like go and be happy again. The thing is, she didn't understand what was happening to her own body. And she's far, far happier where she is, where she's free. That's the big key I get, freedom, freedom. And she's
That's
in
awesome.
yeah, there's definitely a sense of love and happy around her. Share that with your siblings, particularly if you have a brother. She wants him to know that he has to stop being angry and let go.
Okay. Yep,
Okay.
I will.
And
And it's funny because I think my sister's on the call too. So
okay, so she can go and tell that also to your brother, and it'll be up on YouTube, so he can go and take a look and know you're not making it up. Okay. Um,
that's
but
great. Great news. Thank
I
you.
also want to, you just said you were going through mom's stuff. I want to say one more thing before I let you go, because this is going to pertain to everybody. Saturn, these two planets together, Saturn and Neptune, are really weird because Saturn is the most material, physical, grounded, karma, physical plane related planet you can imagine. It's the taskmaster, it's about career, it's about corporate government and everything else. Saturn is solid, right? Neptune is in its natural state, Neptune is a gas, okay? It's a gaseous planet, literally. There's nothing physical there. Neptune only works in the spiritual zone. Neptune illuminates the other side. It illuminates what we can't see. And so when you put these two planets together, it's like literally putting the back ends of a magnet together and making them travel, hold hands. They're very uncomfortable together. These planets don't really like each other. And Neptune is basically the, if you think of it in terms of vibration, it is the energy and going through your mom's stuff around
Mhm.
the physical stuff that is Saturn. Okay. So this is the right time, even though you may not want to do it, to go through as much as that of that stuff as possible, because you're going to be able to recognize the energy in the stuff and what needs to be cleared because it's got a negative energy on it that you really don't want to give to anybody in the family. What
Mhm.
really holds beautiful, warm, happy memories that really should be shared around with different people. Now's the time to really go through that with that understanding that you're going to be able to see with clarity what things have value going into the future and what really don't.
Mhm. Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly the process we went through. So that's great.
That's okay. That's perfect. Great.
Yep.
Kelly, I think that's it. Thank you so much for your question. That was good. It was very good. And once again, folks, I
Thank
want to tell
you.
you, with all of these planets going through the house of health, it's not surprising that Kelly lost her mother recently, that her whole family, look at all these planets, they're all people in her house of health. They're all her family, and they're all grieving in different ways, and they're all rediscovering their lives without mom in it. Okay. And that on some level is going on for all of us in our lives right now. The reorganization of all of the people and the dreams and the situations in our world. And I'm going to take one more quick call to make up for that time that I really went over time talking about things. So this one's got to be quick, folks. But Lisa, who is our last person for the evening?
Lucky number 3 is going to be Michelle Z, because we have 2 Michelles on the call.
Hi.
Hey there, Michelle. First off, the transformation card I picked for you is for Path 17, which really is a card that talks about um, waking up, becoming aware of what it is that you really want on your journey, and making it happen. And you can go and listen to the actual path on my website. And I'm going to shoot right to the core with you. First, what's your sun sign?
Cancer.
Okay, so you fall into that cardinal discussion that we were just having. So I don't need to go
Yes.
back over all those things with you. Other than that, the placement up here of your sun talks about things happening with what you want to become when you grow up. Okay, your profession, your career, the way you want the world to see you. All of these things are a tremendous focus right now, and you are going to have an opportunity to grow enormously within this next 6 months because of the Jupiter placement there. And the biggest thing that will hold you back will be your ties to family and home, which are going to be, there's going to be a little tug of war going on there. So you're going to have some choices to make. Now, what's
Okay.
your specific question?
Well, I am grateful that I was able to have the time to move my mother into assisted living earlier this month. However, she has just gone into the hospital last week. And so I see her getting weaker. And I'm curious if she is I think she's wanting to go. Um, and so I was wondering if she is going to get stronger, but yet is she going to go back to the nursing home or the assisted living? I was just curious about what her
Yeah,
future might hold.
this is kind of interesting because you and I think you have it's either your husband or a close brother have a major decision to make here. You're right, she's on the brink. She's making decisions, even though it might not be conscious decisions. Um, if you try to bring her home or return her back to the situation she was living in, she is probably going to pass. Not immediately, but definitely before the end of the year. That's what my guides say. If you offer her the opportunity of you were talking about assisted living that you're thinking of, she probably will recover and live longer, but still not a lot longer. Her time to transition is coming soon.
Soon as in within the next year or before the end of the year or sooner than that?
Again, it depends.
Okay.
Remember what my guy just said, if you return her
Yeah.
to the situation she was in, she will not make it beyond the end of the year, probably before November. If you move her into assisted living, she probably is going to be able to make herself last longer. She'll have something to live for. She'll regain the desire, and she will probably live a little bit longer, but it's still not a long life.
Okay, because she was in assisted living this month and then she went to the hospital and then they're thinking about rehab for her. And so, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think the thing is that if she follows the route where they're talking about, where she goes into rehab and they put her back on her feet, and then she goes back into the assisted living, but maybe receives it, is in a different space, receives more attention. Her lifespan is increased because of the care that she's getting, and she
Okay.
will respond to that care. Um, you know, the way we all do. It's energy exchange, and it's going to give her that zest for life coming back. She makes friends. She feels that she's cared about again. You see, but if she goes back into the situation she was in before she went into the assisted living, her lifespan is probably not going to be on the end of this year.
Yeah, that's not going to be an option for her going back home. So,
Yeah, well, and I
okay.
think I don't think I told you anything you don't know. You already see this yourself. Um, all that's happened is that I think you just got confirmation. You see,
Yeah.
the one good thing I can say about this is, and I want you to hear this because I think it's important. I believe that It may not be 100% of the time. Um, well, I'm going to correct that. I believe we do choose our time of death, okay, with the life choices we make. And, people may even say, well, what about somebody who's a young person who just, steps into the street and gets hit by a car? Well, if you look back at the decisions the person made throughout that day, they still made a series of decisions that led to them stepping off that curb. So ultimately, we have the control of when we die and how we're going to die. We just don't consciously recognize that. You see,
Mhm.
what you and your family are doing is giving your mother the ability to choose and to do so consciously instead of feeling like she was dragged to it. Am I making sense?
Yes, though she was very upset when she had to move out of her house and into
Mhm.
assisted living.
Well, if she stayed in, and that's the thing, if she stayed in her house, she wouldn't have survived. She wouldn't be
Mhm.
here now. Okay. What would have
Okay.
happened is that another family member would have gone over to see her because she wasn't answering her phone, and you simply would have found her dead. Now, is that, and I think this is what's going on in your mind, is that what she really wanted? And I've got to tell you, yeah,
Yeah.
she was so lonely, and she was tired of holding on to all the people in her world that she felt didn't want her anymore. And of course, that that wasn't true, but you all have lives, and you had to live your life. You couldn't be at her house 24/7, but it wasn't enough for her. Okay,
Hmm.
she'd gotten to the point where she couldn't live alone, but she didn't want to leave. So everything that's transpired is giving her the option of continuing to live and depart the world with dignity in her own time instead of feeling unloved and uncared for.
Um,
Am I making sense to you?
yes.
And I think she herself she's still going to transition. It's still going to be probably within the next 2 years, a little bit longer, but not within the year, I don't think, or
Oh,
could be close to the end of the year, but they're not giving me that really clearly. The thing is, it's given her the opportunity to make that transition in her own time instead of because there was nobody there.
okay.
And my guides want you to know that actually, your guide, I'm assuming your dad is dead because your
Yes.
dad says you did the right thing.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And that's the
Yeah.
big thing about your question. You don't want to spend the next, 30 years saying, my God, did I take her freedom of choice away from her? Did I make my own mother end her life the way that she didn't want? And your dad says, no. And he says, you took care of my girl. You did the right thing.
Because she's really angry now, and I just I just imagine her, ending soon,
Oh, no, no,
because she
anger
is
is
so
good.
angry.
In her situation, anger will keep her going. Anger is
Oh,
going to generate all the energy she needs to recover to get even with everybody. Yeah, she's going to do. You will see an improvement. Okay,
oh,
um,
okay.
but mostly the care she's going to get, and the fact that all the family is going to give her a lot of attention, and she's going to realize she really is loved. She hasn't been ignored, and then she can die feeling better about going.
Okay,
I mean, we
great.
all end, you know. Death is just the flip side of life. We all end. There's nothing wrong with dying. We all do it. Okay. I
Hmm.
love Esther Hicks, who channels that group of spirits called Abraham. She says, there's no death. You're alive here, and then you're alive there. Okay. The
Hmm.
real question here isn't about her dying. The question really is about what kind of death is she going to have, and how
Right.
how can you make that transition one of happiness and joy and hopefulness instead of nobody wanted me. So I
Right.
died. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your insight.
You're welcome. And folks, I'm sorry I kept you over time, but I did want to make up for me being long-winded in the beginning there. And I wish you, as I said, a wonderful rest of our Valentine's Day month of February and a happy, happy, happy St. Patty's Day in March. And hold it together through the beginning. March is definitely going to come in like a lion. Make that lion be what you can enjoy and love and ride and control. Let it be the best thing that ever happened to you. Turn it into joy and something which gives you lots of energy and direction. I'll see you next month. Good night, everyone.